In the headlines, Katsina communities resume farming after years of banditry, seeks government support. NDLEA seizes millions of tramadol pills, tons of cannabis in nationwide crackdown. Nigeria deploys fighter jets to Benin Republic amidst military coup. On the foreign scene, AU and ECOWAS condemn Benin Republic coup attempt, call for return to democracy. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Mariam Idris. Now, residents of communities around the popular Zobe Dam in Dozama local government area of Katsina State have returned to their farmlands after abandoning them for decades due to persistent bandit attacks. Communities such as Takatsaba, Rongamji, Gago, Makera, Terare, and Dage Lawal have now resumed partial irrigation farming and fishing following a peace deal reached with the armed groups that once terrorized the area. This return is happening despite the absence of access roads and lack of agricultural incentives, leaving many of the residents exhausted after years of bandit violence that destroyed their livelihoods. Katsina's Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi visited the communities in southern Dozama and now reports.
Many residents are yet to fully recover from the trauma of repeated bandit attacks. Every movement is taken with caution as they continue to watch their surroundings closely to avoid being caught off guard. The memories of killings, abductions, and assaults are still fresh. But residents say healing and recovery are gradual and can only happen when there is sustained calm in their communities. Beyond security, the residents insist they deserve better social amenities, including motorable roads and agricultural support such as fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, water pumping machines, and fishing equipment. Despite their strategic location and large irrigation clusters, most farmers still rely on outdated farming and fishing methods, making their work difficult and less productive. The people lament years of neglect by both local and state authorities, despite their contribution to food production in the state.
Ina noma shinkafa, ina noma dawa, ina noma waken suya. Ba ina kuma na rani noman tarugu haka. Amma gaskiya mu abinda muke kuka da shi yanzu, tsadar fetur, tsadar taki. A gaskiya shi muke so Allah sa gwamnatin ta ga ta yi mu adalci, ta rage mu kudin wannan abu. Ko a gaskiya ba. Shi ne muke nema.
Gaskiya noman ranar nan mu taki muke korafi da shi da maganin feshi. Gaskiya sun yi tsada sosai. Kuma tarugu dai bana muna gani alhamdulillah akwai lafiya. Amma korafin mu dai tsadar da suka yi da taki da maganin feshi ne kwamfani din sai man barruwa yawa sai robobi da injina su ne ya ba mu samun tallafi.
To gaba daya da yanzu gaskiya ba a samun sana'a da ke shi ba ni noma sai dai ina zo na samu in je in bada ayyukan noma kuma ina samun amfani alhamdulillah kuma dukkan sana'an nan ne kuma in ci da iyali na gaba daya duk da ma dangi ma kuma yan uwa kan sana'an nan sai na samu
An elderly group of women displaced from Shimfida, one of the first communities destroyed by bandits in GBLGA, now live and work here as laborers, struggling to survive. They recalled some of the most brutal attacks on Shimfida, which led to the loss of lives, homes, and livelihoods.
I was displaced from Shimfida I trekked hundreds of miles to get here out of frustration. My family was doing well before banditry, but now I work on people's farms just to feed myself. I don't know where my family members are. I am speechless. Only God knows.
The villagers are appealing to Governor Dikko Umar Ratna to include them in the distribution of subsidized farm inputs to expand their irrigation efforts and rebuild their once vibrant communities, now destroyed by years of terrorism. Security experts say rebuilding communities and empowering locals is critical to achieving lasting peace, especially in areas devastated by long-term insecurity, which has left many vulnerable to poverty, hunger, and disease. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, authorities in Sabon Benue local government area of Sokoto State have dismissed reports circulating on social media that armed men attacked a mosque in the area, killing an imam and several worshippers. The chairman of the council, Ayuba Hashimu, described the reports as entirely false. A member of the Sokoto State House of Assembly representing the area, Aminu Buza, also refuted the claims. And the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, says he has hosted a United States congressional delegation in Abuja as part of ongoing high-level security consultations between both countries. In a statement posted on his X handle on Sunday, Ribadu explained that the visit follows earlier meetings held in Washington, D.C., where both sides discussed shared security interests. He added that the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, also attended the meeting, a development he described as a proof of the importance both nations place on the partnership. According to Ribadu, discussions at the meeting focused on counter-terrorism cooperation, regional stability, and fresh strategies to strengthen the strategic security alliance between Nigeria and the United States. And now French President Emmanuel Macron has revamped France's solidarity with Nigeria as the country's battles rising insecurity and the persistent threat of terrorism, particularly in its northern regions. Macron said he spoke directly with President Bola Tinubu and promised to deepen cooperation between French and Nigerian authorities. He also pledged support for communities affected by violence, stressing that global partners must act collectively to address the growing threat. The statement comes amid escalating insecurity in Nigeria, including mass abductions, violent attacks, and killings in several states. Recent incidents include the kidnapping of over 300 students from the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, and St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri, Niger State. While some students have been released or escaped, many remain in the hands of their captors. In response to the security challenges, President Tinubu declared a nationwide security emergency on November 26th and directed additional recruitment into the Nigerian armed forces and police force to bolster efforts against terrorist groups and criminal networks. Macron emphasized that no nation can remain a bystander in the fight against terrorism and highlighted the need for coordinated international efforts to support Nigeria in restoring peace and security to affected communities. Now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has seized over 7.6 million tramadol pills and 76,000 kg of cannabis in coordinated raids across Nigeria, targeting major drug trafficking networks. Seizures included 3.8 million tramadol tablets and codeine syrup in Delta State, 1.2 million tramadol pills in Imo, 1.5 million capsules in Adamawa, and 197,000 Exol 5 pills in Kano. Drug farms and warehouses were also raided. Over 54,000 kg of skunk in Ekiti, 5,400 kg in Ondo, 500 kg in Niger, and hundreds of kilograms in Lagos and Edo State. Multiple suspects were arrested. Commending the operatives, the chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, Muhammad Bubu Marwa, praised officers of the Special Operations Unit and commands in Delta, Adamawa, Imo, Ondo, Lagos, Kano, FCT, Niger, and Edo State for their efforts, describing the operations as a balanced approach to drug supply and demand reduction. And now police in Imo State have uncovered an alleged organ harvesting operation after finding over 100 dead bodies at an illegal mortuary. The mortuary owner is currently at large. The discovery highlights ongoing insecurity in Imo, which has been kidnappings, armed robberies, and cult-related activities between January and June 2025. The state police arrested over 2,700 suspects and rescued more than 100 victims. Authorities are urging residents to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity.
Good afternoon, members of the press. We received an intelligence report that unregistered mortuary is being discovered in this vicinity. His Excellency delegated the Commissioner for Health, the local government chairperson of Ungopala. Myself, I came to represent the Inspector General of Police. We visited this place. We saw scattered corpses, mutilated corpses in this environment. What we have seen, the corpses that we discovered are more than 100. And the owner of the mortuary is on the run. We sent for him, he refused to come. And severally, we mounted surveillance, whether we'll be able to get him, he's on the run. And by the information we gathered, they used this place in dumping the corpses of what they call organs harvest. Organs harvest. And we are appealing on members of the public, whoever that have corpses here, to come forward.
Now, maritime workers under the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria on Sunday staged a protest at the bank of River Buruku in Buruku local government area of Benue State over the alleged theft of 2 boat engines belonging to their members. The protest, which started early in the morning, brought social and commercial activities around the busy Buruku riverbank and much of the town to a standstill. During the demonstration, the workers blocked all crossing points along the river, effectively grounding canoe and ferry operations and leaving commuters stranded. The aggrieved operators said this is not the first time such incidents have occurred at the River Buruku bank. They are calling on Governor Hyacinth Alia to intervene urgently, recover the stolen engines, and restore security at the riverbank. They vowed that no crossing activities will resume until their engines are found. Tensions has continued to rise as residents and travelers remain stranded. Efforts to reach the spokesperson of the Benue State Police Command, DSP Udemedet, were unsuccessful at the time of filing this report. This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Nigeria deploys fighter jets to Benin Republic amid military coup. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news update on Trust TV. Now, let's take a recap of our major stories again. Katsina communities resume farming after years of banditry, seek government support. NDLEA seizes millions of tramadol pills tons of cannabis in nationwide crackdown. Now moving on to more stories. With just days to Christmas, Christians in Yenagwa, the Bayelsa state capital, say they are deeply worried about the hardship caused by the country's harsh economic situation. According to them, the cost of living crisis appears to worsen by the day. Although the prices of some commodities have slightly reduced, residents say the drop is still not significant enough to ease the pressure on households. They are therefore calling on the federal government to urgently regulate the prices of essential commodities and premium motor spirit, commonly known as petrol. The clergymen also appealed to the government to address the growing insecurity across the country as the festive season approaches. Trust TV's Friday Ebimobowe Peters reports.
Pastor Moses Etume and Sister Usana expressed concern that many Christians may struggle to celebrate Christmas this year if the rising prices of goods and services are not checked and properly regulated.
For us to enjoy Christmas, we need foodstuff. And for now, the economy is hard on Nigerians. So I'm calling on the federal government to look into the market. They have the power to control the price. And so I'm calling on the government to look into the market sector and see what they can do to reduce the price of things so that Christians can enjoy the Christmas season. Because everyone, they are finding it hard and difficult to eat 3 square meals a day because of the harsh economy. But I believe that with government effort, this will be easy this year.
Government will for like make on reduce the price of things. We know say that they work am before they won't sell them, but at least make on reduce them so that make people buy things when they their mind. Like the transportation is much. We where we say we dey travel, where we stranger, we are not indigenous. We dey travel, and the price of transportation what we dey use dey travel before now it don't high pass. So we just dey pray make government, make God touch government, make them reduce the fuel price.
Also speaking, Pastor Isbekin Jollyman stressed the urgent need for the federal government to strengthen security measures across the country, warning that heightened insecurity could affect Christmas activities nationwide.
They curb this insecurity because this insecurity is affecting the movement of people, not the price per se. We are, as Christians, as believers, we are praying for the divine intervention, for God to release peace upon Nigeria, but the federal government to have a part to play. They should try. They should make sure Christians and everybody all over Nigeria should have a peaceful celebration this season.
Many Christians across Nigeria remained worried and alarmed by the rising cases of insecurity affecting several parts of the country. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
Away from that, Nigeria has deployed a fighter aircraft to the Benin Republic following reports of a military coup that allegedly toppled President Patrice Talon on Sunday, according to security sources. The jets, which reportedly took off from Lagos, were sighted operating within Benin Republic's airspace as Nigeria intensified aerial surveillance to monitor the fast-evolving political and security situation in the neighboring country. A senior security official said the deployment is a precautionary measure aimed at assessing potential regional threats and safeguarding Nigeria's national interest. Reports indicate that the takeover in Benin Republic is being led by Lieutenant Pascal Tigri, who is said to have announced the dissolution of state institutions and assumed full military control. The group behind the alleged coup, calling itself the Military Committee for Rebuilding, reportedly suspended the November 2025 Constitution, dissolved all state institutions, halted political party activities, and ordered the closure of land, sea, and air borders. Nigeria shares a long and porous border with Benin Republic, making any instability in the country a direct security concern for Abuja. Military sources say aerial surveillance will continue until the situation becomes clearer. And now a woman has been arrested in Lagos for stabbing a man identified as Jeff over an alleged unpaid 2 million naira. The woman claims Jeff had promised her the money in exchange for repeated sexual encounters, which she accepted to fund her sister's medical treatment. When the man allegedly failed to pay, the dispute escalated, resulting in the stabbing incident. The Lagos State Police have taken the woman into custody and investigation are ongoing.
But I've been trying to raise up money for her health. So then, I don't know, this guy came up to me from this thing, told me that he would like to help me out. And this guy, I've been sleeping with him before. I know that he used to work with him, because that was what he told me. So he told me that he will help me out. He will give me 2 million naira for my sister's health. And then he will release my sister because he had her. So then I had no choice, because that was what he told me. So he told me that he will help me out. He will give me 2 million naira for my sister's health. And then he will release my sister because he had her. So then I had no choice. I had to.
In business, the federal government received 360.29 billion naira from electronic money transfer levers between January and October 2025, according to a new document from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The figure is more than double the 170.92 billion naira generated within the same period in 2024, an increase of 189.36 billion naira, representing 110.8% growth. Monthly data also showed consistent increases across all months of 2025. The surge follows the December 2024 upward review of charges by point-of-sale operators in line with the implementation of the 50 naira electronic money transfer levy on all electronic inflows of 10,000 naira and above. Several fintech companies had earlier notified customers that the levy, mandated under the federal government Stamp Duty Act, will be automatically collected and remitted to the FIRS. And on the foreign scene, the African Union, AU, and ECOWAS have strongly condemned the attempted military coup in Benin Republic on Sunday, December 7, 2025, calling for the immediate restoration of constitutional governance. A group of soldiers, led by Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, attacked President Patrice Talon's residence and seized the national television station, claiming to dissolve all state institutions. In response, AU chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf condemned the coup as a breach of continental laws, urging the military to return to barracks and respect democratic institutions. ECOWAS described the move as a subversion of the will of the people, warned the plot leaders of accountability, and pledged support to restore constitutional order, including potential deployment of its standby force. Both regional bodies reaffirmed backing for President Talon and expressed concern over rising coup attempts in Africa, warning that such actions undermine stability and democracy. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news. I am Maria Medris. Thank you for watching.